Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm OAK Swedish Whiskey Girl and today I'm here with another glass review. And this here is the 1920s Professional Blenders Whisky Glass. It's a really interesting one. So it's a modern recreation of a blender's glass that you would use for nosing your whiskey in the 1920s. And it has been developed in partnership with the whiskey writer Angus MacRailed. And this is, I think, the first thing to get to is that it's quite a visually stunning glass. It has this big bowl and you can see all the liquid, and swirling is so easy and you can like vigorously swirl it and you never really have to be worried about it spilling over the top or over the edge if you're a very, what's it called, enthusiastic swirler. So it's nice to be able to see all that colour, which, I mean, one of the nice things about whiskey is that it does have this visually stunning amber or lighter gold or dark mahogany colour sometimes, and it's just fascinating to look at it. Swirling, as you probably know already if you've seen some of my videos, is something that I just like doing because of habit. It just feels a little bit nice when you just sit there and swirl. But of course, it is a glass that, I mean, blenders go a lot on nose. Of course, trying their whiskey is of course important just to see that you have the right consistency and flavour. But of course, nosing is a really big part of it. So let's have a little nose, see what we think on this one. I mean, this is definitely a glass which allows you to capture all the aromas because of its shape. And the big bowl means that you have all these aromas inside and that they can kind of rise, but the short little kind of mouth of the glass means that they won't disappear too quickly. If you compare it to something like a tumbler, for example, which is so open that the aromas can just fly away quite quickly. What I do find though on these glasses, one thing that it makes it a little bit difficult is that I would almost want to add water to my whiskey immediately because the alcohol is quite strong. So it's almost like you just get a big whiff of alcohol immediately in your nose, and the aromas are like kind of hiding underneath the alcohol. And that's almost no matter what ABV it is. I think the one, so I have a whiskey in the glass of course now, and it's, I think it says at 46% ABV. And it's still quite powerful, the alcohol in the nose. And when I nose whiskey, I don't want the alcohol, I want the aromas underneath. But of course, it's easy to fix if you just add a few drops of water. Which I think is an interesting way to try whiskey. If you reduce it down, the alcohol, so you really get those aromas coming out. And if you want nosing whiskies, I think this is a good one. I also have my favourite glass, my Luigi Bormioli here, just as a little comparison. Yeah, I mean, the nosing experience is stronger on the 1920s glass because it captures everything, but I do get less of the alcohol, that kind of initial sticking feeling in my nose. It allows immediately to nose some of the more softer, maybe more hidden aromas. And this is of course the same whiskey, but on the Luigi Bormioli it's much softer and the alcohol isn't at all taking over. But it's almost a bit uncomfortable nosing it. But like I said, if you add water, which is why I think for me this glass is great if you want to nose whiskey and you want to add water and you want to kind of explore the aromas. But maybe if you just want to sit and drink whiskey, unless you just want this lovely experience of having a beautiful glass and just sitting and drinking it. Because another thing that I've noticed with this glass is you have to tilt your head back so much to actually drink something. I'll show you. Slanjava. I mean, the drinking experience is nice, it's just that you have to tilt your head back so far, especially if you just have a little bit left in your glass because of the shape of it. But I do think for nosing, it's a brilliant glass. Just as a comparison to the Luigi Bormioli. I think it's just, for me, because I like this elegant, thinner, stemmed glass. I really like the design of this as well because it's very elegant to hold, and I do love a stem. It's just that drinking experience wise, it feels a little bit, a tiny bit too uncomfortable just to tip your head back that much. But nosing wise, it's really, really good. But I would probably want to add water just to get the most out of it. Because the nose is so powerful, and I think it captures so much of the whiskey, which of course is great, but I think the alcohol is captured a bit too much to be able to nose it without adding water. I'm sure you get what I mean, but I just want to try and explain it, because the alcohol in itself is something that enhances the mouthfeel and the experience of whiskey, but not necessarily the flavour of alcohol is not what I might want from my experience. I want those, like the flavours of the new make, and I want the flavours of the casks to come together in harmony. So I would say for nosing, brilliant glass. Tasting, if you want this fancy feeling of sitting with a beautiful glass, looking at your whiskey, admiring it, really appreciating it, yeah, it's a nice glass. I mean, they are a little bit spinnier as well, so maybe they are definitely a special occasion glass, but I mean, it all depends what you like. And yeah, these glasses are about £25 a glass if you're buying them from somewhere like the Whisky Exchange. So it depends what you compare it to, but they are a little bit pricier. But if you like this glass, please let me know in the comments below, or if there's something that you've thought of that I haven't brought up, something that's positive or negative, please put it in the comments. I love hearing what you think. And of course, if you like what I'm doing here on YouTube and my other social channels, I would be absolutely over the moon if you consider using my affiliate links with Master & Malt, the Whisky Exchange and the Scotch Malt Whisky Society the next time you're shopping with them. All the information is in the description below, as well as links to my Instagram, my Patreon, my Teespring shop, and of course my website. I hope you've all had an absolutely wonderful day. Slán Skål!